if people go, can you really do it all? Can you do everything and be superwoman or superman? And the first thing that comes to mind, are they talking about multitasking? What's your thoughts, Diane?
So for a start, multitasking doesn't exist in the brain.
What?
So our brain does tasks sequentially. So we can only focus on one thing at a time. So every time we switch from task to task, we are actually switching networks. So if we're working on a document, we have a certain network going that is helping us to complete that document. But if our email dings or our phone goes off, what we have to do to switch tasks to take the phone call or read the email is we need to figure out where we are in our first task, shut down that network, switch over to the other task, start that network up, do that task, shut down that network, come back to the first task again, reorient ourselves to the task and start that network up again. Now this happens, in the blink of an eye. It's very, very fast. But each time we do that, it's cognitively exhausting because the cognitive resource we have available to us in a 24-hour period is exhaustible. And the other thing that's really important here is the part of the brain that is responsible for all of our cognitive thinking, analysis, working memory is at the front of the brain. It's the prefrontal cortex, and it is a hungry, hungry hippo. It loves to use up all of our cognitive resource, and it's exhaustible. So if we are multitasking all day long, running from here to there to everywhere, using up more cognitive resource than we actually need to use, we will run out of resource by the end of the day. And that's why you get to the end of the day and you're more likely to, snap at your partner if he asks you what you want for dinner, or not have time or energy to interact with your children.
So to fit in being the best of everything, there's going to be an element of different tasks and probably a very full calendar for a lot of people, okay? Yeah. How do you manage that if you can't multitask? What advice would you give listeners around being able to be the best at all of those things without trying to do it all at once?
Yeah. So it's all about managing your cognitive resource. So we've got an exhaustible amount of resource and we need to use it in the best possible way we can. So the first is to reduce distraction throughout the day. So if you are doing a task, commit to that task and don't be distracted by your email, your phone going off, online social media platforms. Really dedicate yourself to that task. It's called chunking. So if we dedicate 50 minutes, for example, it can be any amount of time that you like, but if we dedicate 50 minutes to a task, and we only do that task, that is going to be much kinder to your cognitive resource than spending 5 minutes on this task, then switching to another task, doing another 5 minutes, having a look on Facebook, seeing what's going on, and then coming back, doing another task. All of that is using up extra cognitive resources. So chunking is the number one, and reducing distractions.